Dreams came true last night at the 2018 NBA Draft at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Starting with Arizona center DeAndre Ayton, selected by the Phoenix Suns with the #1 overall pick. The 7'1", wow, center averaged 20 points and 11.6 rebounds for the Wildcats. He'll help a Suns team desperate for a bigger presence in the paint. Bill Reiter, host of Reiter's Block, what a great name, from CBS Sports HQ, joins me now to break down the draft. So, overall, who do you think are the winners and losers?
You know, I mean, there's a lot of winners. I mean, the Suns got DeAndre Ayton. He's a stud. I think Marvin Bagley III is going to be a great player for the Kings. I think there's some interesting selections out there that are going to make a big difference. If Michael Porter Jr. works out, it's huge for that team. If it doesn't, it's a big problem. And I think that Grayson Allen in Utah, it's a really nice fit. Utah able to get a guy in Grayson Allen who's really athletic, has a lot of upside. And no disrespect to the fine folks of Utah, but it's a quieter market, so he's kind of under the radar. Maybe wouldn't have done as well in a place like LA or New York.
Is it typical to have so many, what you call, I guess, big men?
Yeah.
I just learned that, so shout out to Sully, the producer, who taught me that. Is it typical to have so many big men, the centers, be picked here?
It is, you know, and there's just guys are enamored, GMs are enamored with really athletic players. Maybe a little bit of a difference here is that it's become such a wing league in the NBA, with all respect to Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, the Paul Georges, guys that operate on the wing, can shoot the rock from deep, but can attack the rim. So you want long, tall players Giannis, who can guard guys like that, and a lot of these players, Bagley, DeAndre Ayton, a lot of these, Mo Bamba, they shoot better from the three-point line than people think, and they play pretty good defense on both sides. They get up and down. I think a lot of these big men will be more in the modern sort of era of players, be able to get out on the wing and play some defense. So I think a lot of these guys could work out in the modern basketball sense.
So let's talk about the trade between Dallas and Atlanta.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Who do you think went out?
You know, so Trae Young is the most interesting player in the draft, either because he's going to be the next Steph Curry or a major bust. He had one of the greatest seasons literally we've ever seen in college basketball. The only player ever to lead the nation in Division I men's basketball in points and assists. Had a huge fall off at the end. So for the Hawks to go and get him, it's a huge risk. It means they think he's the guy. And interestingly, the Hawks GM, Travis Schlenk, came from the Golden State Warriors, where they brought in Steph Curry and developed him. So if anyone's going to recognize a Steph Curry-like player in Trae Young, it's going to be Schlenk. But Luka Doncic, the kid that was sent to Dallas, is considered maybe the best international prospect in the history of the game if it works out. And certainly Dallas has some familiarity with Dirk and going international. So it's a big risk for both teams. It depends on which of those two guys are going to be the star and which is going to be the bust. Probably one will be one and one will be the other. That's the way these things usually go.
Is there anyone that you think is underrated that people haven't been paying enough attention to?
Yeah, so Grayson Allen, who I mentioned, I think he had an incredible combine. He had the tripping issues, obviously, but I think, again, that's a really good fit in Utah. And I like Robert Williams a lot with the Boston Celtics. A lot of people thought he'd be certainly a lottery pick. He's really tall. He's got a huge wingspan. And he's got actually pretty nice court vision for one of these bigs. And the fact he went to Boston, they're really deep. We've seen Brad Stevens be able to develop a lot of talent. Could be a really, really good fit. He had his press conference today and slept through it. When he got up, his phone didn't work. So as long as his basketball game is better than his alarm clock, the future could be bright.
Hopefully when he becomes a pro, he'll
get a new phone.
Figure it all out. Yeah. Exactly. So you call them bigs? That's also the short term for the big men?
Call them, yeah, everybody's big compared to me. Everybody, but yes, in the NBA, the guy, 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", those are bigs.
And in the world, those would be bigs,
in the world,
too.
they're real bigs, yeah.
So let's talk about Michael Porter. He was #1, dropped to 14. What happened there?
Yeah, this is a sad story. Michael Porter Jr. was the top recruit coming into college this past year when he went to my alma mater, the University of Missouri. Got injured, played only 3 games, played only 53 minutes, and he's a top 1 or 2 or 3 talent. And a lot of us thought he'd fall because of the injury, but maybe to 7 or 8 at Cleveland. He fell and fell and fell because the medicals, and talking to some sources around the league, guys looked at his medicals, did not like what they saw. Now, it's an interesting situation for Denver. If Michael Porter Jr. turns out to be healthy, turns out to be okay, say he's Joel Embiid or Julius Randle, and he's fine down the line, they just got maybe the best player in the draft. If he's Greg Oden, then it's the kind of decision that can get you fired. So I hope this young man's career is okay, but he fell where he did. You're right, he's maybe the most talented guy in the draft. There's a real chance, because of injury, he's not going to have the career he was supposed to.
And excuse my naivete, but these teams are looking at the medical records of the players?
Right. So as part of the process, you're going to go and see team doctors. You're going to turn over your medical records. And it's sort of interesting. Every team will assess sometimes players differently. So sometimes a guy might fall a couple spots because one team's doctor doesn't like what they see, but another team doctor is like, no, I think we'll be able to make it work. The fact that Porter Jr. fell as far as he did means there was some uniform belief that whatever's going on with his medicals is not good.
So they're really looking under the hood here.
They are looking at, I mean, these are multi-million-dollar decisions, and if you're a general manager in a front office, you draft the right guy, you've got a career for life. You draft the wrong guy, you're selling insurance in Sioux City, Iowa in 5 years.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So free agents can start entering agreements not before July 1st.
Right.
Who are you looking at? Who do you have your
I'm looking
eye
at
on?
the same guy that every other free agent's looking at, LeBron James, because almost every, I mean, if you're Chris Paul, you're Paul George, you're DeMarcus Cousins, they're gonna look to Akron, Ohio, and they're gonna wait for LeBron to make up his mind. Where he goes will recalibrate the entire league. New odds came out today. The Lakers are still the favorite for his services, but could be Houston. He could stay in Cleveland, which I think is unlikely. He could go to Philly. Boston's on the list. People have talked about Miami, so all eyes on King James.
Do you think he might stay? Do you think he's a masochist at heart?
I'm supposed to say yes because my wife's from Ohio, so I should say yes. I would be utterly stunned if he stayed in Cleveland. I think he's got a very different perspective on politics than his owner. They don't get along anyway, and that Cleveland team just doesn't have the horses to really help LeBron get where he wants to go. I think he's going somewhere else.
Well, Bill, thank you so much for joining
You're
us.
welcome.
And you can watch Bill Reiter on Reiter's Block every weekday at 4 p.m. on CBS Sports HQ.